Good evening, everyone. You're in the spotlight with Brian Garner for this Thursday, January the 11th, 2018. Good to have you all here for our second of two shows this week. Apologize for the delay. We had some issues with the nominations tonight, and we still have an issue that's yet to be resolved, which I'm hoping will be resolved by the end of the show because we are still lacking the biggest award, Best Picture. I haven't gotten that yet. So hopefully we get that within the next hour or so. Hey, that's what happens. We pushed the schedule and we had a very short turnaround time, and I guess that played a role in this, and that's why we are where we are right now, because there wasn't as much time as we normally have to do this, and we're kind of paying the price for it. But you know what? It is what it is. We try, we do the best we can, and it is what it is. So but yeah, so I apologize for that. We were hoping to have everything in place before the 9 o'clock hour. That did not happen, and then it just kept going. Sorry about the echo there. I just was programming the apparatus here. Oh, not program, but getting it set here. But yeah, so you know what? What can you do? What can you do? These things happen, and it won't be the first time we're late. It won't be the last. So, all right, so without further ado, before we get going, before we get into the nominations and get into all that good stuff, let me first remind you all of the ways in which you can interact and contribute to your show, contribute to this show. Have your voice heard by emailing us at itspotlight411@gmail.com. You can also follow us and tweet us at itspotlight411. Remember to use the hashtag itspotlight411 for anything you tweet regarding our show. And of course, you can find us on Facebook. Just search for us on Facebook at In the Spotlight 411, and make sure you like our fan page once you're on it, once you find it. One more thing, another hashtag, because it is the In the Spotlight Film Awards. You can also use hashtag ITS Film Awards tonight if you want as well, if you're on Twitter. Okay, so like I said, we're on the air late because the nominations are late. We do have everything but Best Picture. They've all been validated. They've all been sent to me. So no issues there. As usual, we have ties and all kinds of stuff going on, which is typical for our awards show. It's just the way it goes. So we'll see how these things end up. I'm always interested, believe me. I'm always very interested to see how these things, we've been very blessed over the years with these awards, the TV awards, the film awards, where you all are very good about taking things seriously and just doing a very good job of helping us to put these together. And we're all grateful for your participation, those that do participate, and you guys and girls out there, you make this work. The ones that make it work. You're the ones that came up with the idea. So, we do this for you, and every year it's a big, tremendous success because of you. So thank you in advance for that. So it's going to be an interesting night, I think. It'll be fun to unveil these nominations, and we're doing this a little earlier than usual, but, it's kind of what we have to do. So let's see how these go tonight. Should be an interesting night. I'm stalling because I'm waiting for my co-host, because he's the person that's supposed to start. So hopefully he comes on soon, because I need him. For those of you that have never tuned in to any of our award shows, you're a new listener or a new viewer, whatever the case may be, the way this works is this. We have, you'll see when we unveil these categories, assuming you haven't participated in the process, we have genre awards, and then we have the general awards. Genre awards are, we award films in specific genres: comedy, drama, action, adventure. And then we go on to more general, like, best supporting actor, best supporting actress, lead actors, writing, directing, music scoring, ensemble, all that kind of stuff, general stuff. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, when we start getting to categories like supporting actor, supporting actress, lead actor, you're going to see a lot of repetitive nominees from early in the night. Usually what you see is people nominated for the genre categories end up nominated in some way, shape, or form in those main overall categories: supporting actor, supporting actress, actor, actress. That's kind of how it always works, because, if you got support in those categories, typically you got support in the main categories as well. So just be aware of that. But, this system has worked wonderfully over the years, so that's why we don't change it, and that's why we keep it. So that's why, if not broke, don't fix it, right? So Just in case you were wondering. Now, let me also talk about something else, because one of we don't usually run into this problem because we don't usually do this in January. But tonight is the Critics' Choice Awards, and we're doing this opposite that. So a lot of my awards brethren out there, the Gold Derby people, and critics, fellow critics, and people off the air that I talk to, and all that kind of stuff. Your attention's kind of diverted here right now. So I had forgotten that was going on tonight. Maybe I would have changed this up a little bit. Maybe done this on Tuesday and then did what we did on Tuesday tonight. But it is, again, whatever. You can't win sometimes. But anyway, we're doing this. We'll announce the nominees, and we'll also. Usually I like to start the show with this, but I don't think I'm going to start it with this because I think it's better off waiting to the end. Because, in all honesty, I think this will work better in me explaining this at the end of the night because of the way I was told by one of our people. What do I usually call them? Good Lord, I can't even think tonight. I'll call my awards council. Those that help to tabulate the results and put together the ballots for us and everything. I was told earlier that the nominations might impact the way the live award categories that I have selected for this year. Every year we kind of tinker with the live award voting, live award categories. And for those that don't remember, the live awards are those awards that you'll be voting on live during the film awards later this month. So, whatever is decided on as nominees, we'll announce those nominees at the beginning of the film awards in a couple weeks, and then you'll have about an hour to vote on them, and then we'll announce the results right before the biggest award of the night, Best Picture. That's how we do those. And the nominations are decided on by you as well. We'll start that process tonight at the end of the night. I'll let you all know what categories you have to decide nominees for, and then over the next couple weeks you can vote on those nominees and help to decide those nominees. And for those that have not participated in the Film Awards process so far, you can participate in this. It doesn't whether you participated in deciding the nominees or participating in this process so far or whether you haven't. Regardless, anybody can participate in this. So don't feel like, oh no, this would be people that have already participated. It's not. You can participate even if you haven't thus far. In fact, this is kind of why we like doing this, because there are people that, missed a deadline or for some odd reason can't participate. This allows them to, if they would like. It gives them like a second chance to get involved in some form. And it's also fun. Puts an interesting, gives us something interesting to kind of push into awards night. So, that's why we do it. So I'll unveil those categories later, but I'm told that these nominations might impact the categories. So that should be interesting. But I have noticed that Mike has popped on here. So Mike, you're in the spotlight.
Partner.
Yes, what's up?
For the second time, you somehow did not interrupt. Constitutional.
Oh.
Let us make this a continued pattern.
Well,
don't interrupt my poop time.
Well, listen, I didn't do it intentionally because I was waiting on the categories to come in. Some of the nominations come in, and we're still lacking the big one, which is, so that's why I was waiting. Otherwise, I would have interrupted your little constitutional, if you will. So
you son of a bitch. Dare you admit that when I was giving you perfectly good credit for doing something you can't get out of your own way sometimes, can you?
I had to be honest. I would have
out of your own way.
I would have been on the air at 9 o'clock on the button if it wasn't for waiting for these nominations.
Brian, I have to disagree with you there. You're never on the air at 9 o'clock on the button. That is somewhere between a falsehood and a fantasy.
We used to be a long time ago, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, one of these days, someone will get there again. Until then, this is not that day.
Anyway, we got nominations to get to. As I said, I'll explain the live vote of the awards at the end. We'll see if these impact my decision making with that. So I haven't, when we first started this, I used to see the nominations before. Like, I would get them and I'd look them over. I'd be like, oh, yeah. And then I stopped doing that because I like to be surprised. So when either Mike reads them or I read them or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, because I get like a genuine reaction to them. I like that. It makes it more fun. So, yeah, so people that are like, oh, he knows all along. No, I really don't know. I mean, you can make some assumptions on nominees because you've heard enough and everything, and we watch enough award shows, but I don't know for sure who's getting in and who's not. So yeah, but anyway, we got a lot to get to. We got to start off, as we always do, with the genre awards here, as we announced the In the Spotlight Film Award nominations for 2018, the 8th edition. And as we always do, we start off with animated, and Mike has animated, so it's time to pull out the old awards voice, Mike, and get going here. So go ahead.
Well, I suppose I should bring a little class to this endeavor. Especially since I led off by congratulating you for not interrupting my poo. It's time, I suppose, to bring a little class to everything. Okay. Outstanding animated voice cast. Because I can. Fuck off. The In the Spotlight Awards nominations for the outstanding voice cast in an animated film, and your nominees are Cars 3, Pixar / Walt Disney Pictures, featuring the voice talents of Larry the Cable Guy, Cristela Alonso, Armie Hammer, and others. Pixar / Walt Disney Pictures. Talents of Anthony Gonzalez, Gael Garcia Bernal. I'm not reading all those names.
You don't have
but God bless them, they did. But God, fantastic work. Me 3. / Universal. And featuring the voice talents of Steve Carell, Kristen Wiig, Trey Parker, Miranda Cosgrove, Steve Coogan, Jenny Slate, Julie Andrews, Ferdinand, Fox / Blue Sky. Talents of John Cena, burr, 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 burr. Cindy Anderson, Bobby Cannavale, Gina Rodriguez, Tenet, and the Lego Batman movie, featuring the voice talents of Will Arnett, Michael Cera, Rosario Dawson, and others. These for outstanding animated film are Boss Baby, Fox. 3, Pixar / Walt Disney Pictures. Oh boy. Pixar / Walt Disney Pictures. Fox / the Lego Batman movie, Warner Brothers.
Okay.
You may analyze. You may analyze now. Feel free to analyze.
Okay. I for some reason I had dead air there for a second. All right. So you did voice cast and animated movie, because my thing kind of went out for a second, right? You did both, right?
Yes, I certainly did both.
Okay. All right. My earpiece went out for a minute. It was weird. And that's probably because I had too many windows open. All right. So here's what's interesting about this. Normally these things are almost identical, and usually there's maybe one or there's always like one or two changes. But it's interesting that you get Cars 3 for voice cast, Okay, you got Cars 3 for voice cast animated film, which, Cars 3 was something that not everybody loved. But no Boss Baby, okay, in voice cast. You get Despicable Me in voice cast, though, which is odd because it's not up for animated film. So, and then no Ferdinand. So there's a couple interesting. We got Ferdinand in voice cast. So what am I looking at? Oh, that's why I'm looking at. I didn't pull up the whole thing. All right, so you swap out Cars. You swap out Boss Baby for Despicable Me, essentially in voice cast. So it's interesting that you didn't see Despicable Me, even though it wasn't a great movie for many people. It's interesting that it didn't break into animated film. But Boss Baby did. But Boss Baby was tend to be better received. I kind of like that though. I like that there was some differentiation instead of like, sometimes you see the same movies up for voice cast, same movies up for animated film. So Boss Baby gets animated film, but not voice cast. Despicable Me gets voice cast, but not animated film, and everything else is the same. Does it really make a difference? Coco's going to win anyway, right? Probably. Unless something.
I would not say that for guarantees, because Lego Batman was a tour de force in animation early on in 2017. Also, to make the power of John Cena.
Here's something interesting, though, just to let you all know of something that this was put to me in a note that I got. Apparently, along the way of this process, somebody had actually asked if they could put the Lego Batman movie in the comedy categories. Now, look, we've done that for TV with South Park, and that obviously can happen. But I just thought that was interesting. I haven't seen the voting notes yet, but I'm sure that might have happened with some people where they thought Lego Batman was strong enough on its own to be in comedy. It was a bad year for comedy. So I could see why people might be like, hey, maybe I can put that in comedy. You know what I mean? So, interesting food for thought. But anyway, I think Coco's going to win both. But like Mike said, you can't underestimate the Lego Batman movie, nor can you underestimate the power of John Cena. And Ferdinand, I heard, was really good. So,
yes, Ferdinand was one of those movies I wish I could have seen, but I sadly have not. Disappointing. A little disappointing. Although, to be fair, I have not seen Coco yet either.
No.
I hear this work was outstanding.
Yes.
Actually,
all right.
One Bernal was marvelous. I know that look in your eye is like, who is? I says, who is Gael? Whoa. White spotlight. That is a thought process right now. It is embarrassing.
You're not wrong, actually.
Now, we've been through this. We've been through this process a few times now, Brian. I expect you to read your next category with some dramatic gumption. To read this meant dead or without emotion. That.
Okay. Listen.
Dramatize it.
Wait. If I dramatize it, it's gonna be even worse than my normal voice. Okay. And second of all, if
I feel like you should take the risk.
And second of all, if I do it the way you do it, we'll never get off the air tonight. Put it that way. So one of us has to.
I would never suggest you do it the way I do it. I'm suggesting you put a little effort into it. That's all I suggest.
Okay, I will try my best to be a little bit more dramatic and more theatrical and that kind of thing. I'll try my best. I can't make any promises because I'm not as good at this as your sophisticated self is. But
nobody is putting you on that level. I do not know why you're suggesting this. All I'm suggesting is that you put a little drama, put a little effort into it.
Oh God, Jesus. Anyway, all right, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Oh, I haven't had a year. I've had a couple. Well, we had the TV awards in the fall, but okay, whatever. Let's get moving.
I have faith in you.
Okay. Well, I'm glad somebody does. All right, so let's get going here. Let's jump to the comedy categories here. And what I'll do is what we always do. I'll do the supporting categories, then then we'll take a minute to discuss them, then do the lead, then discuss them, then do outstanding comedic film, and then we'll discuss that. That's how we usually do it, so that's what we'll do. All right, so the nominees for outstanding comedic performance by an actress in a supporting role, the nominees are Elizabeth Banks as Gail Abernathy McCaden Feinberger, Pitch Perfect 3. Kristen Bell as Kiki, A Bad Mom's Christmas. Catherine Hahn as Carla Dunkler, A Bad Mom's Christmas. Kelly Rohrbach as CJ Parker, Baywatch. Rebel Wilson as Patricia Fat Amy Hobart, Pitch Perfect 3. And the nominees for outstanding comedic performance by an actor in a supporting role: John Bass as Ronnie Greenbaum, Baywatch. Jack Black as Professor Sheldon Shelley Oberon, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Zac Efron as Matt Brody, Baywatch. Dave Franco as Greg Sestero, Disaster Artist. Seth Rogen, Disaster Artist. Okay, Mike, so we got a couple surprises here. We got some Baywatch, we got Jumanji, which you think would be an action, and we have the Disaster Artist.
Yes. That did answer a question. I didn't know if Jumanji was actually eligible this year. I didn't know when the cutoff date was, because Jumanji was added rather late, although I realized that a little sooner. All of the Star Wars nonsense that came across my screen. Yes, Star Wars is nominated for things. Who knew? But I should have figured that out. But, and also, I don't know if we have a dramedy. Disaster Artist is considered a comedy and not a drama.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Dave Franco and Seth Rogen are up for supporting is great. I will say that the real comedic tour de force was definitely done by Jack Black in Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. I feel like is the favorite for this part. In females, well, I suppose you could either choose somebody from Bad Business or Pitch Perfect 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally pick your poison.
Yeah. Just look, there wasn't a whole lot of comedy this year, and I wonder if maybe that impacted the way people placed this, because they're like, what's a comedy? I mean, Baywatch was a comedy, but in any other year, I don't know if Baywatch would have gotten as many nominations as it did. Not everybody liked it. I liked it, but and Jumanji being placed here might be. We talked about this over the last couple of years, how there's so many action and adventure films. Maybe people just try to look for ways to nominate something when they, instead of just sticking all in the same category. I don't know. I'm not surprised to see Disaster Artist here, because everybody seems to keep regarding that as a comedy. It's just the way it is, And when you think of Seth Rogen and Dave Franco, you're usually thinking of a comedy. So I mean, I see it, but look, I haven't seen Jumanji yet, so I'm going to take your word for it that Jack Black probably gave the best comedic performance here. I mean, all these men, other than Jack Black, I've seen everybody else in this category, and I know they had their comedic moments. But if we're talking about the comedy categories, you're looking for the pure comedic performance, and it could end up being Jack Black. I thought John Bass did a good job in Baywatch because he had more of the slapstick kind of stuff. I don't know if Seth Rogen did enough in Disaster Artist to really. I had a lot of one-liners, but. And Dave Franco was more at parts of drama than comedy. So, I'll go with you. I think maybe Jack Black will get this, especially since Jumanji's really got momentum right now. As far as the women's category, it's going to go to somebody from Pitch Perfect 3, I think. Even, especially given it happened later in the year, and usually they do well with our categories. Plus, I don't think anybody I don't expect Kelly to get it for Baywatch. And Bad Moms, I mean, Bad Moms could do it, but the only one I could see really doing it is Catherine Hahn. I can't see Kristen Bell doing it. So it's really Catherine Hahn, Rebel Wilson, or Elizabeth Banks. Probably Hahn or Rebel Wilson. I would say Rebel Wilson's the favorite. All right, lead categories. Let's go. Outstanding comedic performance by an actress in a leading role. The nominees are Alexandra Daddario as Summer Quinn, Baywatch. Anna Kendrick as Becca Mitchell, Pitch Perfect 3. Mila Kunis as Amy Mitchell, A Bad Mom's Christmas. Karen Gillan as Ruby Roundhouse, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. And Amy Poehler as Kate Johansson, The House. Now, the nominees for Outstanding Comedic Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role. Dwayne Johnson as Lieutenant Mitch Buchanan, Baywatch. Dwayne Johnson as Dr. Smolder Bravestone, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Will Ferrell as Scott Johansson, The House. James Franco as Tommy Wiseau, The Disaster Artist. And Kevin Hart as Franklin Mouse Finbar, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. So The Rock got nominated twice, Mike.
As he should have. It's The Rock, for crying out loud. I do think the funnier of his two roles was, in fact, in Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Was his role as hilarious as Kevin Hart? Hard to say. Both about equal. That being said, after some of the allegations that broke today, and we're not going to comment on them, it might have sunk Franco's chances for anything, for maybe an Oscar nomination. Like this, I have a hard time seeing Franco winning.
Yeah.
That's sad. The performance is Tommy Wiseau, the mysterious man. It was enthralling. Potentially life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's too bad. This is where it ended up. But that being said, Karen Gillan and The Rock Johnson / Kevin Hart. I'm trying to here because I speak very highly of Jumanji. It was one of the funniest movies I've seen all year, and I have seen funny movies this year. Because this year was not the best year for comedies. Although I do believe we are underrating Baywatch. Bad. Baywatch was rather funny.
Your point about Franco, you're right. Because, I mean, look, if not for a lot of the things going on, I think Franco would probably win this easily. You know, even though, I mean, again, some of these other movies were seen more than Disaster Artist, but he would win. So, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say he still doesn't have a chance. I don't know if he's a front runner. I think he's in the mix here. I'll go with what you're saying about Jumanji, though. You know, probably Kevin Hart or Dwayne Johnson from Jumanji will win this, if not Franco. And same thing with probably actress and a lead actress. You know, I think Karen Gillan will probably get it, but I wouldn't be surprised to Anna Kendrick. And that's the other thing, too. This was the last Pitch Perfect movie, so maybe there'll be a little bit of nostalgia there. So I could see it going to Kendrick or Gillan in that category. All right. Outstanding comedic film. The nominees are A Bad Mom's Christmas, STX Entertainment. Baywatch, Paramount. The Disaster Artist, A24. The House, Warner Brothers New Line, and Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Sony Columbia. So, based on the nominations in the acting categories, no real surprises here. Mike, any thoughts?
Briefly, I do believe this is a two-film race between Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, The Disaster Artist.
Agreed.
Yes, both are fantastic films. Jumanji has it beat, but the room. Knock out the disaster artist.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a 2-film race. Again, if some of the things going on drastically affect things, then I think Jumanji will win this much more dominant fashion. If not, I think it'll be close between Jumanji and Disaster, because Jumanji is already being seen. It's already obviously being seen by more people. So, all right, we're done with the comedy category. We now move on to action adventure. Mike, you're up.
All right, let's just move on to action adventure. So let's start with action adventure performance by an actress in a supporting role. These are pardon me. As Hela Ragnarok. As Vice Admiral Amelin Holdo. The Last Jedi. Carrie Fisher. Excuse me. Carrie Fisher as General Leia Organa. The Last Jedi. Gillian as Nebula. Galaxy 2. Mentoff as Mantis. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Fran as Rose Tico. Action adventure performance by an actor in a supporting role. Nominees are Wrong as Merlin, Golden Circle, as Ego, Galaxy, Volume 2. Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner / Hulk, Thor. Michael Rooker as Yondu, Galaxy Volume 2. Bull Skywalker, Star Wars. Colin Firth as Harry Hartlad, Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Jr. as Tony Stark / Iron Man, Homecoming. Adam Driver, Kylo Ren, Wars, The Last Jedi. Bautista, The Destroyer, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2.
Boy, these action adventure categories always have, especially the actor categories, always have a lot of ties and a lot of nominees. And they always. And this is, this one's tough because every one of these actors, you have legends like Mark Hamill, you have up and comers like Adam Driver, you have actors that kind of stole the show, like Michael Rooker and Dave Bautista. I mean, it's a good category. I think I think Adam Driver is a favorite here. I think Mark Hamill's a favorite here.
I apologize.
What?
To name?
Would you? Okay, go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Got a name. I apologize.
Oh, Mr.
And the front runner for outstanding action adventure performance by an actor in a supporting role, Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Ragnarok.
Wow, Mike. The Loki fans aren't going to be happy.
For dramatic purposes. For a Loki fan, I'd be surprised too, because usually Loki leading role. But in this one, he is certainly in a supporting state.
Yeah, it's something new.
I could understand their frustrations.
Listen, there's so many people there's so many actors in this category that can win. I think Adam Driver and Mark Hamill are favorites, especially given it's a more recent movie. But I think Batista and Michael Rooker both had huge moments in Guardians of the Galaxy that could, drive them to this. Kurt Russell. I wrote, what's interesting? I like the fact that Mark Strong's here because we saw Kingsman to go in circle that he got more to do than you would have thought he would have gotten. So I kind of like the fact that he's here, but he ain't gonna win, unfortunately. Colin Firth ain't gonna win. Robert Downey Jr. I don't think did enough. So I think this comes down to Hamill and Driver are like the co-favorites here with Batista and Rooker are kind of right there as dark horses. I guess Mark Ruffalo could be a dark horse too, but I kind of think Rooker and Batista are in better position than he is. So that's how I feel for supporting actress. I think it's a little bit more. I think Carrie Fisher's going to win, and not just because of losing her, may she rest in peace, but because they did so many wonderful things with Leia in this movie that I think it's deserved. I mean, Cate Blanchett was great in Thor. I thought Laura Dern had some great moments, but honestly, I think this belongs to Carrie Fisher, and I don't have an issue with it. So, Mike?
I still think you're underrating Loki. I think he is favorite.
Okay.
In outstanding action adventure performance by an actor in a supporting role, is the overwhelming favorite. Although Mark Hamill was a close second, and then Rooker and Driver in a close third with and Mark Ruffalo kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
I will move on. Realize that. Well, let's move on to outstanding action adventure actress in a leading role. Excuse me. And the nominees are Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, Ragnarok. Zoe Saldana, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2, as Rey, The Last Jedi, and more as Poppy Adams, Golden Circle, Godot as Diana Prince / Wonder Woman. Outstanding action and adventure performance by an actor in a leading role. These are Curtin as Gagwin, Ash Galahad, Circle. Harrison Ford as Rick Deckard, 2049. Sling as K, Blade Runner. Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Ragnarok. Tom Holland as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Chris Pine, Eve Trevor. Chris Pratt as / Star-Lord, Galaxy, Volume 2.
Okay. So, interesting to see Blade Runner here, because even though that movie was highly regarded by people that went and saw it, didn't get seen by as many people as you would have liked. And I'm also surprised by the amount of love Kingsman's getting, because again, that one wasn't seen by as many people as, it was seen by enough, but it didn't do as well, and a lot of people didn't like it as much, the first one. But no surprise to see Chris Hemsworth here, or Tom Holland, or Chris Pine, or Chris Pratt. First of all, Chris Pine, his work in Wonder Woman was very underrated. He did a wonderful job in that movie. And Chris Pratt, of course, in Guardians was amazing. So for actor, I think it's probably a Hemsworth, Holland, Pine Pratt kind of push here. I'm going to give the edge to Hemsworth only because Thor, became this big deal this year. The movie itself. I mean, Thor's always been a big deal, but this is finally where they got it right with Thor. And he's a big. I mean, he finally got the chance to really shine as the character. So I think Chris Hemsworth can pull this out this year. Other than that, I could see it being Chris Pine too if people want to award Wonder Woman. And speaking of actress and actress, it's going to go to Gal. It's either going to go to Gal Gadot or Daisy Ridley. Probably Gal. This was her year. Even though Daisy did wonderful work in Last Jedi, I think this kind of edges more towards Gal because of how important Wonder Woman was. Tessa Thompson did some nice work. Zoe Saldana as well. Julianne Moore, who I thought did really cool work. It's such a unique role for her. But yeah, I think Gal's going to win this. Mike?
I wholeheartedly agree in thinking that Gal Gadot is the easy frontrunner. Lead female. I think the other male lead could be in jeopardy. It could be a battle of Marvel films, if you will. Because while Thor was big, and it was the big breakthrough for Chris Hemsworth. If you take pure acting in a role, the more quality performance was actually given by Chris Pratt. Star-Lord. Dramatic moments to work with. He was very funny in the role. He's always very funny in the role. But weight behind a lot of his actions and a lot of his motivations. It was a more meaty role, as they would say in the business. So I think you're grossly underestimating the Guardians here, which is a little embarrassing. Little droll, Brian. Little droll.
Okay, whatever. All right. Okay.
Wait. Anyways, important things are happening. Be quiet. Action adventure, and your nominees are 2049, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Walt Disney Pictures, Spider-Man Homecoming. Why are you singing? How dare you? Spider-Man Homecoming / Walt Disney Pictures. I don't interrupt you when you're doing your lifeless thing. How dare you? Anyways, during this next one, Star Wars, the Last Jedi. For your Star Wars. Thor. No Rock. I can't talk tonight. Marvel / Walt Disney Pictures. Brian, I found your favorite. For the Planet of the Apes. 20th Century Fox. Woman. Warner Brothers. So we all know which movie Brian is voting for. His monkey movie is up, so he is voting for, of course, War for the Planet of the Apes. Not because it's the best. It's because Brian likes the monkeys.
First of all, I'm just going to point this out. It's kind of shocking not to see Kong Skull Island up here.
You couldn't possibly contain 2 monkey movies. That would be asking far too much.
I could have stuck one in drama and one in action adventure. Just saying. But anyway,
you could have. But 2 monkey movies being nominated, I'm sure you would have been so elated to be on clouds 9, 10, and 11. How embarrassing.
Look, it is. Well,
Keep it together, man.
Okay. In all seriousness, it is shocking to see Kong not nominated here, especially since War for the Planet of the Apes got in. Didn't get nominated for anything else, which I wouldn't expect it to, although I like to see Andy Serkis get some recognition. But yeah, it's shocking to see it here, given it, I don't know if it's appearing anywhere else, but no acting categories, which it usually doesn't get, which is, interesting. I think James Franco got one for the first one, but listen, and Blade Runner was, a movie that I just didn't, people that saw it thought it was good, but I don't know if even with that, it's got enough traction, Guardians, Spider-Man, Star Wars, Thor, Wonder Woman, they all have much better chances here than Blade Runner and War for Planet of the Apes does. Ultimately, in my heart of hearts, I think it ends up coming down to Wonder Woman or Star Wars. That's what I think. Doesn't mean it will. It's all these Marvel movies here. It's kind of, who knows? But Wonder Woman had such an iconic film, and then of course Star Wars and what it is. So I'm going to say Star Wars or Wonder Woman. But again, as my co-host likes to remind me, don't underestimate Guardians of the Galaxy or any of the Marvel movies. So, Mike,
as your co-host likes to remind you, don't underestimate the Guardians of the Galaxy. People might argue that Volume 2 may not be as good as Volume 1. I would argue otherwise. I believe it is just as good as Volume 1, even though it took a little different path.
Yeah.
More dramatic, there was more... deeper bonds were formed. It was such a marvelous movie. But that being said, this is a 3-movie race, maybe even 4 or 5. Featuring Wonder Woman, word you used, iconic. Iconic seems to be losing its luster nowadays, but it was such a fantastic movie. Much better than Justice League, and we're not talking about Justice League, Brian. Stop bringing up Justice League.
I didn't bring up Justice League.
Dare you?
Okay.
Offending the senses.
Okay. All right.
Awful.
Okay.
But that being said, Guardians, Thor, Spider-Man, and I guess Star Wars too. Action-packed category. Pun completely intended.
Okay.
Move on. You may move on.
You mentioned Justice League, and Justice League's nowhere to be found in the action-adventure category. Interesting.
Stop bringing it up, Brian. How dare you?
But there are movies that already some people are sending me mail about saying, where are they? Well, I'm looking at the nominations I'm about to read. You might be getting them now, and this is something worth talking about. We'll do that in a minute. All right, we move on now to drama, the dramatic genre category, and we'll, as I always do, start with the supporting categories. I'll start with outstanding dramatic performance by an actress in a supporting role. The nominees are Mary J. Blige as Florence Jackson, Mudbound; Holly Hunter as Beth Gardner, The Big Sick; Daphne Keane as Laura X-23, Logan; Laurie Metcalf as Marion McPherson, Lady Bird; Octavia Spencer as Zelda Fuller, The Shape of Water. And the nominees for outstanding dramatic performance by an actor in a supporting role: Willem Dafoe as Bobby Hicks, The Florida Project; Luke Evans as Gaston, Beauty and the Beast; Armie Hammer as Oliver, Call Me By Your Name; Richard Jenkins as Giles, The Shape of Water; Kevin Kline as Maurice, Beauty and the Beast; Sam Rockwell as Officer Jason Dixon, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri; Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, Logan. Mike, Beauty and the Beast and Logan are in the drama categories.
That is a little surprising. Although I expected Logan to be there, I certainly did not expect Beauty and the Beast to be there. I do think those are the two front runners. Well, the rest of them are, and certainly neither do they.
Hey, it got you interested in the drama categories.
It might have on some level.
Boy, that Luke Evans as Gaston, that's such a traumatic performance.
Brian is as dramatic as Gaston.
Oh, God. Anyway, let me just react to these. Look, if you look at the awards season, a lot of people think Willem Dafoe is a favorite for supporting actor. Armie Hammer's another. Sam Rockwell, too. Those tend to be the three people that you look at. So I wouldn't rule any of them out here. But if we're judging by what people have seen, or, we're judging what people have seen, then it could end up being Kevin Kline, who was brilliant as Maurice in Beauty and the Beast, or probably Patrick Stewart. In my estimation, I've seen all these performances, okay? Patrick Stewart, to me, is the best one. And that's not even a bias. He's the best one. And so that would be who I'd be pulling for here. But, again, you can't rule any of the ones I mentioned. As far as supporting actress goes, I think Octavia Spencer, Rory Metcalf, Mary J. Blige, you can't go wrong. I like Daphne Keane. I don't know if she'll pull it in here. She was brilliant in Logan, but I tend to think it'll be either Octavia Spencer, Rory Metcalf, or Mary J. Blige. Even though, with the exception maybe Shape of Water, the other ones weren't seen as much on Logan, of course, too. I still think Rory Metcalf and Mary J. Blige can pull it out. Octavia Spencer definitely can pull it out. So we'll see. All right, lead categories. Outstanding dramatic performance by an actress in a leading role. The nominees are Jessica Chastain as Molly Bloom, Molly's Game. Sally Hawkins as Elisa Esposito, The Shape of Water. Frances McDormand as Mildred Hayes, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Charlize Ronan, pardon me, let me say it again, because I know how to say it, but I botched it. Charlize Ronan as Christine Ladybird McPherson, Ladybird. Meryl Streep as Kay Graham, The Post. Emma Watson as Belle, Beauty and the Beast. And the nominees for Outstanding Dramatic Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role. Timothée Chalamet as Elio Perlman, Call Me By Your Name. Tom Hanks as Ben Bradley, The Post. Hugh Jackman as Logan Wolverine, Logan. Hugh Jackman as P.T. Barnum, The Greatest Showman. Daniel Kaluuya as Chris Washington, Get Out. Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill, Darkest Hour. Bill Skarsgård as It, Pennywise the Dancing Clown, It. Mike, we got It, we got The Greatest Showman, we got two Hugh Jackmans. What say you?
Saith I. I'm very surprised It is in dramatic category. I would have thought that might end up an action-adventure, considering we do not have a dedicated horror. But if we had a dedicated horror category, we'd get crap nominated every year.
Yeah.
So maybe this is in fact a blessing in disguise. Jackman for Greatest Show and Logan. Very interesting choices indeed.
This is interesting because Greatest Showman isn't exactly. I mean, it's doing better now than it was when it started, but I didn't think enough people had seen it. But Hugh Jackman's great, so I haven't seen Greatest Showman, but I know what he did in Logan. I think it could be completely justified in winning for Logan. I've seen Gary Oldman's work for Darkest Hour. It was great. Timothée Chalamet is great. Daniel Kaluuya was amazing in Get Out. I agree with it. I think it has more of a reason to be in drama than Beauty and the Beast does. Because it is a dramatic. It's a psychological kind of thriller. I mean, could you put it in action? Yeah, but I can understand it being in drama. That doesn't bother me. Usually, I would say Tom Hanks is a favorite, but I think he gets outshined by others in the post. To me, Timothy Chalamet, Hugh Jackman for Logan, Daniel Kaluuya. I don't know if Omen's going to get it because I don't think enough people have seen it. His performance is good enough, and maybe Bill Skarsgård. Any one of those guys can take this. As far as actress, I don't think Chastain will win this because I don't think enough people saw Molly's Game, although she's a popular name. Frances McDormand is brilliant, but that movie's got a lot of controversy around it, so I don't know if she'll pull this in. I think Sally Hawkins deserves this. I could see Emma Watson as the popular choice, given how popular Beauty and the Beast is. But if I'm judging by performance, I think it's either Sally Hawkins or Saoirse Ronan. Meryl Streep's great, but I don't know if this was her best work. I think she was great, but I don't know if it was her best work. I think Sally Hawkins and Saoirse were probably better. Frances McDormand was better, but I think the movie won't help her. So I'll say it goes to Saoirse or Sally Hawkins. That's why I hope it would go to, but I could see it being Emma too. All right. I know that's bringing up most of the category, but it's kind of a little bit wide open in a way. Outstanding dramatic film. The nominees are Beauty and the Beast, Walt Disney Pictures. Call Me by Your Name, Sony Pictures Classics. Dunkirk, Warner Brothers. Get Out, Universal. It, Warner Brothers. Lady Bird, A24. Logan, 20th Century Fox. Greatest Showman, 20th Century Fox. The Post, 20th Century Fox. The Shape of Water, Fox Searchlight. So we had some ties. It's the most we've ever had for drama film. Usually we don't get to, but again, we got some horror movies, we got some action movies that are kind of more dramatic. So I guess that's what we get. Mike, what are your thoughts?
Brian, you're telling me 3 billboards outside of Ebbings, Missouri wasn't nominated?
No.
A shock and an awe. But then again, people didn't like that movie, so it's not really a shock or awe.
No.
To like that movie, of course, were the Golden Globes and probably the Oscar voters, because that is right up their alley. It's except for the fact that they let the racist cop off at the end. Spoil that. I don't care. Logan, It, Beast, movies. Greatest Showman on Earth. Haven't seen it either, but in it, this category, interesting pieces together. Talk.
Okay. Any one of these movies, probably except for The Post, could probably win. Because I say The Post because I just think it's such a divisive topic, the whole media thing. I don't know if I could see it. And I don't know, again, enough people saw it. Same thing with Greatest Showman. So I guess I don't see Greatest Showman winning either. I'm surprised it's getting as much love as it is here. Because again, I don't think enough people have seen it. I think anything else is fair game, though. I mean, Lady Bird's kind of down on the list too, but I think enough people liked it to push it. I guess if I was pushed for favorites, I mean, obviously Beauty and the Beast, It, Logan, Dunkirk will probably be popular favorites because they did very well at the box office. But don't Get Out could be another favorite because it did extremely well and it's underrated. And it's not underrated, but it surprised people by how good it was. So I could see any one of those. All right, now we go to the general categories. We've done the genre, we go to the general ones. And Mike starts us off with music, scoring, and visual effects. Mike, go ahead.
Fine, I suppose I will do best music scoring. And your nominees are Best Music Scoring. Your nominees are
Marco Beltrame, Giacchino. I've never been able to say this gentleman's name right. Michael Cacciano.
Yep.
I don't care. Whatever. Spider-Man. Homecoming. Display. The splat of water. John Debney and Joseph Trapanese. Showman. Alan Menken. The Beast. Human Wallfish. Human Wallfish. Zimmer. Blade Runner. Fine. John Williams. Star Wars. Aye. Rupert Gregson Williams. Jeff Zanale. Caribbean. Dead Men Tell No Tales. Hans Zimmer.
Okay. So a lot of people we've seen here before: Michael Gasciano, Alexander Desplat, Hans Zimmer, John Williams, and then some new people as well. Alan Menken back in the mix for Beauty and the Beast. That's probably a favorite. Was always a favorite. Obviously, The Greatest Showman, John Debney and Joseph Trapanese. That's will be a trendy pick. I'm kind of surprised it's scoring here. It was underrated. I thought it was really good. From what I listened to, anything Hans Zimmer or John Williams can always win. Anything can always win. So I think the favorites are probably Alan Menken, Hans Zimmer, John Williams for Star Wars. Those will probably be the favorites in my mind. Mike?
I don't have an argument there.
Best visual of...
Yeah.
One more time. Again, it's been a long day. I'm having a hard time talking tonight. Best... You laughing makes it harder to read these categories.
The way you just said that, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sure. Best visual effects. Your nominees are and the Beast, Coco, Kirk of the Galaxy, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, Spider-Man, Star Wars Jedi, Thor Ragnarok.
Okay, so some good choices here. First, how odd is it that Pirates is showing up in these general categories, but it wasn't up in action and adventure? That's kind of interesting.
It is a travesty.
I mean, look, a lot of people...
that it's not there.
Hey, a lot of people are down on Pirates. We're not, but a lot of people are. I guess it's showing up here. But
and unfortunately, I hate to remind those people of how wrong they are. But they are so wrong. It is offensive at a cell.
Yeah. So let me interesting that and Mike's gonna go crazy for me bringing this up, but hey, look, no Justice League in visual effects, so nobody likes Steppenwolf.
Would you bring up Steppenwolf?
I'm just trying to make a point.
In the Spotlight Award for most boring villain in an action adventure movie, it would just be Steppenwolf.
I will say this though, isn't it interesting too that
the Steppenwolf Award for most boring villain.
It's also interesting that Wonder Woman didn't turn up here, but I think that as good of a movie as Wonder Woman was, and it was a good movie, that ending was a little bit of a CGI fest too, and I don't think people like that. So that could play a role here. But any one of these movies, all of them did very well, but Spider-Man didn't have a lot of, the web swinging and stuff, I guess, but I could go to any one of these. I would say Dunkirk, Beauty and the Beast, Coco, and Star Wars and Thor were probably the best of the bunch here, probably. I know that's a lot of favorites. I'll go with either Thor, Beauty and the Beast, or Dunkirk for this one. I think one of those movies will get it. That would be my picks. But, Mike, anything to add?
No, I have similar thoughts.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to jump now to Best Film Advertising Marketing or Viral Marketing. The nominees are Beauty and the Beast, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, It, Thor Ragnarok, and Star Wars The Last Jedi. Mike, any reactions, thoughts?
Was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 up?
Yes.
I think that movie should win.
Yeah. They all did interesting things. I mean, Star Wars was more just about like this, merchandising and branding. But Guardians, I thought, did an interesting marketing campaign. Beauty and the Beast was pretty good. Yeah, I think Guardians or maybe even Thor will be the one probably to win this. That would be my take. Although It was smart too, but it was very limited, I guess. But Guardians or Thor would be my favorites there. All right, now we jump to what we like to call the newcomer categories, which is usually, we call them Outstanding Breakthrough Actor and Outstanding Breakthrough Actress. Now, those categories are different than the category Outstanding Breakthrough Performance. I have to explain this because people don't always get it. How are they different? Here's how. Breakthrough actor and breakthrough actress are usually people that either had no career or had very little, were very unknown, pretty much. They might have done commercials, they might have done a gig here and there, but they never had a big role, or they never really had a role that identified them or brought them, gave them like major fame, major popularity. Okay, they might have had a career, but it's their big role, it's their big breakthrough. Okay, contrast that with outstanding breakthrough performance, where the people nominated for that one might have had a career, you might have seen them in something before. They're not relatively unknown. You've seen them before, but they gave you a performance that's unforgettable, a performance that you're going to remember from them. It might be the role that the character or the performance that you look at and say that was the defining moment of their career. That's what breakthrough performance is versus breakthrough actor, breakthrough actress. So I feel like I should explain that every year. All right. So, but breakthrough actor, actress are newcomer categories, meaning that you're pretty much you don't have to be completely new on the scene, but again, you might have had very little to do in your career. You're not really a known name. Okay, that's what we mean by that. So right now, outstanding breakthrough actress will present first. Outstanding breakthrough actress, the nominees are Daphne Keane as Laura X-23, Logan, Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, Thor Ragnarok, Kelly Marie Tran as Rose Tycho, Star Wars, The Last Jedi. And the nominees for Outstanding Breakthrough Actor are Timothy Chalamet as Elio Perlman, Call Me By Your Name, Daniel Kaluuya as Chris Washington, Get Out, as It, Pennywise the Dancing Clown, It. Mike, your thoughts?
Paying attention.
For the first time tonight, can't complain.
I was busy on doing other things.
Okay, so we have
those things may be.
What? Weirdo. Okay. What basically was breakthrough actor and breakthrough actress. Breakthrough actor Timothy Chalamet, Daniel Kaluuya, Bill Skarsgård, and breakthrough actress Daphne Keane, Tessa Thompson, and Kelly Marie Tran. Any thoughts?
Oh, the Star Wars lady, the Get Out kid, the other one. You know the one. or Timothy Chalamet. Call me by your name. One of those people.
Look, I think breakthrough actor is more of a contest than breakthrough actress. Any one of those guys can win. Any one of them can win. Although I'll give the edge to Daniel Kaluuya, but any one of them can win. Actress, I think, is not as much of a contest. Even though Kelly and Tessa did very good work in Star Wars and Thor, respectively, I think Daphne Keane. This is the award I think Daphne Keane will get. Because of how difficult her role was and the different things she had to play, I think she'll get this. All right, next up, we have Outstanding Breakthrough Performance, and then we'll move on to Best Ensemble, which, Mike, you have. Go ahead.
Breakthrough Performance?
You have it.
I suppose I do. Okay.
Shocker.
Okay. All right. All right. Outstanding Breakthrough Performance. Your nominees are Mary J. Blige, Lawrence Jackson, and Gal Gadot as Diana Prince / Wonder Woman. Franco as Tommy Wiseau, the disaster artist. Oldman as Winston Churchill. Oh, Lord. Saurus Ronan. Lady Beard McPherson. Lady Bird. Lady Beard might be really funny, but the movie's called Lady Bird. Go see The Greatest Showman on Earth.
All right, so this is an interesting category. All these actors or actresses had amazing performances here. Again, as we've been saying all night, in light of recent news, I don't know how that will impact Franco here. If I would have said he'd be a favorite a couple of days ago, who knows? Gary Oldman would be a favorite. Gal would be a favorite. I don't know if enough people saw Saoirse or Mary J in their respective movies, but they gave fantastic performances. So this is kind of a wide open category based on circumstances. So anybody can win. I'll give the edge to. I still give James Franco a little bit of an edge, along with Gal and Gary, because they were in movies that got seen a little bit. Well, Gal was in a movie that got seen by more people, so he'd probably be the favorite on that. But Franco and Oldman, along with her, their performances were more known. While as Mary J. Blige and Saoirse Ronan had performances that many people are just getting around to seeing. So that's the way I would see that category. Mike, anything to add?
I do believe that Doe definitely has the overwhelming advantage here in this category.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, to Best Ensemble. That's the next one, right?
Correct.
Your nominees are Tea and the Beast, The Fate of the Greatest Showman, Galaxy, Volume 2, Pirates of the Caribbean, Tell No Tales, and Homecoming Wars. Ragnarok. Justice League?
Where'd that come from?
It's on my list for Best Ensemble. I am as stunned as you are.
It's in front of me, too. In fact, there's two movies here that I'm less shocked about Fate of the Furious, but then again, it hasn't appeared anywhere all night and it shows up in Ensemble. And now Justice League the same way shows up here. It's kind of odd. Just like Pirates showing up in the general categories, but not showing up in the genre. It's kind of odd. Hey, look. I'm gonna, all laughing aside here. Look, I mean, when we look at Fate of the Furious first here, it's got a good ensemble. Fast and Furious always do. So I'm not gonna degrade that one. Same thing with Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, regardless of what you thought of the movie, they always have a great ensemble. Now, as for Justice League, was it a good acting ensemble? Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're just basing it on the category, if you think that ensemble worked well together, then okay. I guess I can deal with that. I thought they worked okay together. I mean, you know, so I guess it's going to be nominated for an award. It's not a bad idea. It's this one, I guess. Unfortunately, none of the movies I just mentioned, I think, are going to win this. I think Beauty and the Beast, Guardians of the Galaxy, I think and I think Star Wars The Last Jedi are probably the favorites here. Mike, any thoughts?
I believe the Beast, Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Wars, and I guess I suppose, are definitely runners. Maybe Greatest Showman could sneak in there too.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Maybe Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales should be sneaking in as the winner because it deserves it. However, judge.
Okay. Now that that's done, we now move on to the big, to the supporting acting categories, the overall supporting acting categories. So, again, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of times you see some repetitiveness here. Some of the actors or actors you heard earlier end up appearing here again in these what we call overall categories. These are the big categories, the overall acting categories. So don't be surprised if you see a name again here. All right, so first we'll start with Outstanding Supporting Actress. The nominees are Cate Blanchett as Hela, Thor Ragnarok. Mary J. Blige as Florence Jackson, Mudbound. Laura Dern as Vice Admiral Emmeline Holdo as Star Wars The Last Jedi. Carrie Fisher as General Leia Organa, Star Wars The Last Jedi. Karen Gillan as Nebula, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Holly Hunter as Beth Gardner, The Big Sick. Daphne Keane as Laura X-23, Logan. Pom Klementieff as Mantis, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Laurie Metcalf as Marion McPherson, Lady Bird. Octavia Spencer as Zelda Fuller, The Shape of Water. Kelly Marie Tran as Rose Tycho, Star Wars The Last Jedi. And the nominees for Outstanding Supporting Actor: Dave Bautista as Drax, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Willem Dafoe as Bobby Hicks, The Florida Project. Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, Star Wars The Last Jedi. Dave Franco as Greg Sestero, The Disaster Artist. Armie Hammer as Oliver, Call Me By Your Name. Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, Star Wars The Last Jedi. Richard Jenkins as Giles, The Shape of Water. Kevin Kline as Maurice, Beauty and the Beast. Sam Rockwell as Officer Jason Dixon, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Michael Rooker as Yondu, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner the Hulk, Thor Ragnarok. And Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, Logan. All right, so as is typically the case in these categories, a lot of times you end up seeing not too many of the comedic actors appear here because, you know, the action adventure drama categories tend to lend the most nominations here because they have the more dramatic work, the more flashier, sometimes more strenuous acting work, more expansive acting work. So it's not a surprise to see who ends up here. I am pleasantly surprised to see Bautista end up here and Michael Rooker because I didn't think they'd make it in here, but they did. But good for them. They had good roles, so I don't have an issue with that. Dave Franco ended up here is not a surprise because, again, even though he was nominated in comedy earlier, he had a lot of drama there, so I can understand that. Everybody else, I thought had a reason to be here. I think it's a good category. I think Patrick Stewart, as I mentioned earlier, gave a great performance in Logan. I could see him winning here. I could see Willem Dafoe winning here because I think he's probably the favorite for a lot, like the Oscars and all that other big awards that are out there. Richard Jenkins is another guy. Mark Hamill, if we're going more on the popular side of things. Same thing, Mark Ruffalo as well. Adam Driver. Any one of those people I can see winning here. Any one of those men. And as far as actress goes, I think this is a little bit easier to pick. I could see Carrie Fisher winning here. Even though I think she's going to win the action category, supporting actress category. I could see her winning here. In fact, I think she's probably going to be the favorite. I think she might win both. Supporting actress and an action adventure in this one. If not her here, because I think she win action adventure pretty easily. I could see Daphne Keane pulling it off. I could see Laurie Metcalf or Octavia Spencer pulling it off. I can't see anybody else doing it, to be honest. Mike, your thoughts?
There are a lot of very good people in these categories. Agree with you on Octavia Spencer probably being the the favorite in supporting. However, it could be a wide open field if you think about it. Surprised that Rooker and Batista made it. Naturally. I am rooting for both of them. Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm just saying. Hey, Brian didn't make it in supporting, did he?
Who?
Steppenwolf didn't make it in supporting, now did he?
No, he did not. All right. Okay. So now next up we have outstanding writing. It's always an interesting category. The nominees are Call Me by Your Name, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Logan, The Post, The Shape of Water, Spider-Man Homecoming, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Wonder Woman. Mike, your thoughts? Did I lose you? No.
I don't believe so, but you skipped ahead, so I missed some of those.
I skipped ahead? Okay. Well, let me repeat them one more time in case we broke up there. Outstanding writing nominees. Call Me by Your Name.
Yes.
Dunkirk.
Okay, sure.
Get Out. Lady Bird.
Get Out.
Logan.
Lady Bird.
The Post.
The
Shape of Water. Spider-Man Homecoming.
Water. Spider-Man Homecoming.
The Star Wars The Last Jedi. And Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Okay. These. I'm surprised the Disaster Artist wasn't nominated there. It's a bit of a illusion, if you ask me. Guardians of the Galaxy was also in there too. It's a very disappointing miss. Very disappointing miss. On some level. I think that Logan could be the front runner.
Yeah.
Had the strongest rush. Although people might love The Shape or The Post, Logan might have had the strongest writing of the lot.
Yeah. Logan, The Shape of Water, and Get Out are the three favorites here, I think. I would swap out Guardians of the Galaxy for The Post. That would be my only change. I mean, Disaster Artist I could see being up here too, but I wonder if people are like, well, it's based on a book, and sometimes people, I don't know, sometimes people are weird about that stuff. So, but it still should be up here. But I would add the Disaster Artist and swap out The Post for Guardians of the Galaxy. That would be my only additions. I would do. But yeah, Logan, Get Out, or The Shape of Water would probably be the three favorites here. I mean, Star Wars had a good script, but I think if you're going to but I think you're right that Logan would definitely be Logan, Get Out, and Shape of Water, as far as scripts go and such, would probably be better, bigger favorites. All right, before I throw back to Mike for a few more categories here and for him to also announce his or remind you of his award that he'll be presenting on awards night, allow me to give you all a quick little description of my award, the Standing Ovation Award, which I will present on the Film Awards night in a couple weeks. The Standing Ovation Award is an award or recognition that I give to an actor, actress, director, producer, and maybe even a studio if I feel so inclined, I guess, but not usually. Somebody that's under-recognized, a film that's underappreciated, something like that, you know. I used to be very strict with this. I do this for TV awards too. I used to be very strict with this and like, well, it can't be somebody that's won an award. They may have been nominated or whatever, but they can't be somebody that's won an award. Now I tend to open it up to people that have won, but they might not have won a lot. Like maybe they only have one Oscar or one Emmy or whatever. Or maybe, you know, again, it's somebody that maybe was nominated but never won, or maybe never even been nominated. You know, I'm a little bit less restrictive with it than I used to be. But that's generally who it goes through. So it's somebody that generally doesn't get the recognition they deserve, and it tends to be underappreciated, or a movie that tends to be underappreciated or underrecognized, and that's what I give this recognition to every year here, both at the TV and Film Awards. So that's what my award, the Standing Ovation Award, is about. And again, I will announce who gets this year's award, or what film or actor, actress gets this year's award when we do the awards later this month, and then unveil the winners. So, all right, now I will throw to Mike for Outstanding Director, Lead Actor, Lead Actress, and of course for him to explain his award that he'll give out. So go ahead, Mike.
All right. Award. Wade Barrett Award for Excellence and Quality. And this award is basically rewarding movies seen and enjoyed, and rewarding them with an award with the namesake of a professional wrestler, Stu Bennett Barrett. Always wrestled and talked with excellence and quality, and he should have been a world champion, but that's neither here nor there. The Wade Barrett Award is awarding the movies that I think were the best of the previous year. I am willing about my nominees. Listen and open to input, although I, of course, will say. So anyways, let us talk about Outstanding Director. Nominees for Outstanding Director: Bill Condon and the Beast, Guillermo del Toro of Water, Gracie, Greatest Showman, Greta Gerwig, James Gunn, Galaxy Volume 2, Wonder Woman, Johnson, Star Wars.
Okay.
James Mangold, Andy Muschietti, Christopher Nolan, Get Out, Lee Unkrich, John Watts, Homecoming.
All right. So a lot of people here that, based on what we've seen tonight and based on popularity, that I expected to see, which is Bill Condon for Beauty and the Beast, James Gunn, Patty Jenkins, Rian Johnson, James Mangold, Andy Muschietti, Christopher Nolan, Jordan Peele, Lee Unkrich. I'm a little surprised about John Watts. I didn't think he did anything special in Spider-Man: Homecoming, but hey, whatever. And then you see some people here like, well, Guillermo del Toro I expect to see here too. But to see Michael Gracie for The Greatest Showman, I'm glad he's there because obviously that's probably a tremendous undertaking. So you know how I feel on director. And to go to somebody that had a difficult job and a challenging job, and that is a challenging job, especially a musical. So I'll give him that. Greta Gerwig, I thought was a good choice for Lady Bird. So I'm glad to see her show up here, even though the movie is not exactly being seen by as many people as it should, because it's a good movie. You know, so this is a good category, I think. This is a very good category. I think Patty Jenkins is going to probably take it, though, because there's this groundswell of support for, and rightfully so. She was brilliant. She's made the only DC movie worth the crap since the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. You know, and with all the you know, talk of women in Hollywood and women in film, and you know, I mean, if not her, probably Greta Gerwig or Jordan Peele or Christopher Nolan. You know, but I think Patty Jenkins is going to get it, and I don't have an issue with that. In my mind, she directed one of the most iconic scenes, if not the most iconic scenes of this year, with No Man's Land and Wonder Woman, and you know that movie was brilliantly directed, and a lot of people feel like she's been robbed, not being nominated as much as she should during this award season, and she is. I think Patty Jenkins wins this. Mike?
I believe Patty Jenkins could be the front runner. I think you're underestimating Jordan Peele, underestimating Bill Condon. I think you're also underestimating James Mangold and James Gunn, who directed fabulous pictures this year. For you drama folk, let's say film elitists. Toro, The Shape of Water, or Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird. But I do agree. I think Patty Jenkins is one of the frontrunners. Peele is also one of the frontrunners. I think Gunn, or maybe even your favorite director, Nolan. All right. So, all right, I suppose I'll keep going.
Go ahead.
I suppose one of these days I'm going to do a picture, and I will do it with. Well, I'm sure I've brought more gravitas to the announcement and to the award than. And the nominees are. You are trying marginally harder this year, and that deserves an applause.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You got one.
Good.
Lead actress. These are Jessica Chastain as Molly Bloom, Gal Gadot as Diana Prince / Wonder Woman, Hawkins as Elisa Esposito, Water, Frances McDormand as Mildred Hayes, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbings, Missouri. Yes. Daisy Ridley as Rey, Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Saoirse Ronan as Christine Lady Bird McPherson. Lady Beard. If you want to see Lady Beard, go see The Greatest Showman on Earth, starring Hugh Jackman. But if you want to see Saoirse Ronan as Christine Lady Bird McPherson, go watch Lady Bird. Darn it. So is this Donna. Laura. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. traveling. Meryl Streep as Kay Graham. Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. Belle. And the Beast.
You there?
Yes, I am. I finished. I thought you were going to analyze.
No, do lead actor. That's what I did with supporting. I just did supporting actor, actress, and I analyze. Yeah.
I suppose. Okay, let's try this again. Outstanding lead actor. These are sometimes you just need water before you read the nominees. It's very important.
It is.
Building tension.
Yes.
Chalamet as Elio. Call me. James Franco as Tommy Wiseau, the artist. Tom Hanks as the Post. Tom Holland as Peter Parker. Homecoming. Jackman as Logan / Wolverine. Logan. Hugh Jackman. E.T. Barnum. The Greatest Showman. 3 times in a row because I couldn't say it right. Oh. All right. Kaluuya. Washington. Get Out. As Winston Churchill. Or Peter Quill / Star-Lord. Galaxy, Volume 2. Steve Trevor, Wonder Woman. Asgard as It / Pennywise the Dancing Clown.
Okay. So let me just give like Ronan, Cerise Ronan the Accuser. Oh, that was clever. That was clever. I appreciate that.
I had to say it some way. I was losing it, Brian.
Yes. Lady Beard.
Cerise Ronan the Accuser.
Cerise Ronan, Lady Bird, Christine Lady Bird McPherson. Now you got me tongue twisting. Like now, it's crazy. But yes,
it is funny how tongue twisting does happen when you say Lady Bird. You want to say Lady Beard. If you want to see Lady Beard, go watch The Greatest Showman on Earth, starring Hugh Jackman as P.T. Barnum.
Anyway, look, outstanding lead actress, I think, is an interesting category because you never know if it's going to be more popularity or more who gave the best performance. And then sometimes a little bit of both. There's a lot of women that could win this category. Every one of these women gave great performances in their respective movies. You can't ever go wrong with Meryl Streep. Frances McDormand's a big name, but her movie's controversial. The Post hasn't been seen by as many people as some of these other movies. Emma Watson as Belle was in probably the biggest movie of the year, along with Daisy Ridley. Same thing with Gal Gadot. Sally Hawkins was brilliant in The Shape of Water. Cerise Ronan, who was amazing in Lady Bird. Any of these women, Jessica Chastain, any of them can win. It just depends on which way it ebbs and flows here. As far as like, is it going to be more of the movies that people saw? If it is, then Gail and Daisy probably have this one well in hand. It'll be the favorites. If it doesn't, if it's more open, then you have Sally and maybe even and Meryl and Cerise and even Frances jump up there. Maybe even Jessica jump up there. It's a good category. As for actor, I think it's a little bit more of an easier pick. Again, with Franco, we mentioned the whole everything that's going on that probably hurts him here. Hanks it wasn't his best role. I don't see it going to Holland. I think Daniel Kaluuya could be a choice. Hugh Jackman for Logan could be a choice. Gary Oldman could be a choice. Bill Skarsgård even could be a choice. And Timothy Chalamet could be a choice. Any of those actors could win. I maybe will give the edge because I somehow think that the best acting might play. Where I think Timothy Chalamet or Hugh Jackman or Daniel Kaluuya could win this. I think I don't know if enough people saw Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill to factor in. So I could see Hugh Jackman for Logan, Timothy Chalamet for Call Me by Your Name, and Daniel Kaluuya. I think that one of those three could win this one. So we'll see. It should be interesting. Mike, do you have anything to add before I move on?
I think Gal Gadot is probably the front runner. You would think for her historic role as Wonder Woman for lead actress. You would think most fans are very persuasive, and they might go with Daisy Ridley. Might be another choice too, and it's hard to see anybody else coming close. Especially not Frances McDormand as Mildred Hayes, 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Gets off at the end. Spoilers.
Yeah.
That's right. As for lead actor, said Franco would probably win it in a landslide. Accusations happened. Could be a very good frontrunner. Kaluuya. Daniel Kaluuya could be a frontrunner. I do believe Chris Pratt is also a frontrunner, but as we know, I am inherently biased. Those are good choices. I just want to point that out.
Okay. All right. I have received the last category finally, and I literally received it 5 minutes ago, which tells you how down to the wire it was. And you'll be shocked to know that. Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Well, we have quite a few ties here, so that's probably what took so long. With nothing new in the Spotlight Awards, that's for sure. All right, so here we go. The nominees for Best Picture, the biggest award. Nominees for Best Picture are Beauty and the Beast, Walt Disney Pictures. Call Me by Your Name, Sony Pictures Classics. Coco, Pixar, Walt Disney Pictures. Dunkirk, Warner Brothers. Get Out, Universal. The Greatest Showman, 20th Century Fox. It, Warner Brothers. Lady Bird, A24. Logan, 20th Century Fox. The Shape of Water, Fox Searchlight. Star Wars The Last Jedi, Walt Disney Pictures. Thor Ragnarok, Marvel, Walt Disney Pictures. And Wonder Woman, Warner Brothers. Mike, your thoughts?
I heard maybe 3 of them.
You heard maybe 3 of them. Okay, let me talk first, and then that way, while I'm talking, you can hear me what I'm saying, and I don't have to repeat them all again, because that ruins the drama. So, let me just say this. Some of these are not surprising. Obviously, you see how things have gone tonight. Beauty and the Beast, Dunkirk, Get Out, It, Logan, Shape of Water, Star Wars, Thor, Wonder Woman. None of them are really shocking, given how much support they have. You've seen Lady Bird, Call Me by Your Name, do okay tonight, even though they haven't been really seen by as many people. So I guess them showing up here doesn't shock you at all. Coco was probably the best anime movie of the year. Actually, was the best anime movie of the year, so it's not shocking to see it here. So, when you consider all that, this is not a shocking list. What's really shocking to me, based on support, and again, we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 movies here. We're only supposed to have 10. So I guess at some point they weed themselves out, but there's no Guardians of the Galaxy and there's no Spider-Man Homecoming in this category, where they've seen a lot of support tonight. So that's a little bit of a surprise to me. So that would be that would be the true shocks for me in this category. As far as front runners go, when it comes to this award, I tend to always think that it comes down to the more popular, the movies that were seen that did a little bit better at the box office. So Coco, Beauty and the Beast, Dunkirk, Get Out. Unfortunately, I don't see the great. I'm shocked the Greatest Showman even made it into this because, again, it wasn't seen by as many people. But I don't see it factoring in. So Beauty and the Beast, Coco, Dunkirk, Get Out, It, Logan, Star Wars, Thor, Wonder Woman. Those movies you think of. Wonder Woman was very iconic. So I put that as one of the final front runners. Logan was on such a different level. Star Wars, It. So I guess if you push me for favorites here, Beauty and the Beast, Coco, Dunkirk, Get Out, Logan, Star Wars, or Wonder Woman, I think any one of those movies I think can win. Mike?
Interesting. Very interesting choices. I do not disagree with you. I'm flabbergasted by the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 wasn't up here. Gasted. Embarrassed even, although I'm pleasantly surprised that Beauty and the Beast was nominated here. That was such a fantastic movie. It was such a beautiful movie. I think it would be the favorite. However, you Star Wars nerds, Star Wars, and that is a perfectly acceptable option. Isn't? I'm just kidding, of course it is. So, there are lots of favorites here of yours, but I am flabbergasted.
I do makes two of us.
The Galaxy.
I guess I can
disappointed as well.
I guess I can see Spider-Man not making it in, but Guardians is a shock.
Very much so.
I'm also going to point this out too. I meant to say this earlier. Speaking of Spider-Man, I'm kind of surprised to see Michael Keaton not get nominated for anything.
Much. He was in a few interesting movies this year. He was in Vulture. He was also in American Assassin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not get a lot of, obviously got no love here, but it was a very well received movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's very strange indeed.
I was thinking that earlier, and I was surprised. Now, earlier tonight, before we read the nominations, I told you all that I was told by one of our awards council members that, that the nominations might make me rethink the categories for our live voted awards that you all are going to be able to participate in and help to decide. They don't. To be honest, it further solidifies those categories in my mind because there are some things that went under-recognized, underappreciated. So to me, the categories are just fine. So I'm not going to make any adjustments to them. Now, again, the live vote awards are those awards that we voted on live during the awards broadcast later this month. You all, even if you haven't participated in deciding the nominees that we announced tonight, if you haven't participated in the awards process, you can still be involved in the live voted awards process, okay? So it's open to anybody, all right? So, again, this is separate from the awards. I mean, it's going to be announced on the awards show, but it's a separate thing. It starts now, so it's a little bit of a separate thing. So, for those that want to be involved, you can be involved. And I'm going to tell you how right now. It works the same way as we do with the kind of like with the ballot request, okay? We're going to give you the categories right now for the live voted awards. So you might want to jot these down. You will have the opportunity to nominate 3 nominees per category. Obviously, there'll be more if there's a tie. 3 nominees per category for these live voted awards. All right? So pick whatever 3 you want to pick. You don't even have, we're not really ranking them, okay? Just kind of submitting what you want to submit, and then we just judge by popularity. And usually people fall in line with the same kind of things, and that's how we get to this. We found that out, So here we go. The categories for the live vote awards. Remember, you're going to have 3 nominees per category if you choose to be involved in submitting your choices for this, okay? So here are the categories for the live voted awards. Cinematic moment of the year, or you can also call that scene of the year if you want. Studio of the year, original song of the year, cameo of the year, underrated film of the year, and underrated actor, actress, or cast of the year. I'm going to repeat those one more time. Your categories for the live vote awards. Remember, you're going to need 3 nominees per category. Cinematic moment of the year, or you can call that scene of the year if you'd like. Studio of the year, original song of the year, cameo of the year, and underrated film of the year, and underrated actor, actress, or cast of the year. Remember, 3 nominees per category. Submit your choices by email only. Do not do this by Facebook or Twitter. It's too complicated. So by email only at itspotlight411@gmail.com. Submit your nominees per that category, per those categories for the live vote awards, and you will have until the day that winning ballots are due, which is on, let's see here. I'm trying to look at my thing here. January 23rd. I think. Yes. I'm trying to look at my notes here. Actually, January 25th. I'm sorry. January 25th. The winning ballots are due for the In the Spotlight Film Awards. That night, the nominations for the live vote awards are also due. So January 25th, live award nomination submissions are due. And again, as I just mentioned, winning ballots are due that day as well. So those of you that participated in the nomination process, this only applies to those that help to decide the nominees tonight. You will be able to help to decide the winners. Your ballots have already begun to be sent out tonight. You will receive them all by late tomorrow night, probably well earlier than that, but give us a little bit more time because you never know. So you'll receive your winning ballot sometime over the next 24 hours at the latest, and then as soon as you get them, you can help to decide the winners. Everything that you need to know is on your ballot, all the instructions, important dates and deadlines. And again, those winning ballots are due on Thursday, January 25th, as well as all nomination submissions for the live vote awards are due on Thursday, January 25th. The In the Spotlight Film Awards, the 8th edition of the Film Awards, will actually take place on Tuesday, January 30th. I can't remember if I said February 1st or January 30th. I'm not going to do February 1st because Thursdays are going to be bad for me starting on February 1st because that class that I'm supposed to be doing on Tuesdays is going to be on Thursday starting February 1st. So I avoid that altogether. So Tuesday, January 30th is the day that we will announce the winners of the 8th annual In the Spotlight Film Awards. That means we're only going to have 4 or 5 days to count out the ballots, but I don't think we're going to have a problem with that, to be honest. So deciding it's always easier for the awards council to get tabulate the results of the winning ballots than it is the nomination. So I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. But yeah, Tuesday, January 30th, we will announce the winners of the 8th annual In the Spotlight Film Awards. So again, Thursday, January 25th, live award nomination submissions are due, as well as winning ballots are due at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time that night on Thursday, January 25th. So by the time we start that show, make sure you have those submissions in. Again, all only by email only at itspotlight411@gmail.com. And the 8th annual In the Spotlight Film Awards will broadcast live on Tuesday, January 30th at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. I think it's the earliest we've had it since the first year we've done it, but we had to do it that way this year. So there you go. The Film Awards process. We're in the home stretch now. Should be interesting and should be a lot of fun. You all did a wonderful job on the nominees, so kudos to you all. Did a very, very good job. A little bit of some strange things like, Logan and Beauty and the Beast and drama and no Guardians for Film of the Year. But, hey, that's what this is for. Things that makes it interesting, I guess. So we'll see how things go over the next couple weeks and look forward to the awards on January 30th. All right, so we've been on the air long enough. I mentioned earlier on Tuesday that if we had some time, I might comment on the Golden Globes. I'm going to leave that for next week. I don't want to. I think we could do, because I also want to talk about the Critics' Choice that took place tonight too. So we'll leave that for next week. when we have more time to kind of dive into those topics and stuff. So I'll make a note of it. I will talk about them, but we'll leave it for next week because we're already on the air late, and I don't want to overdo it. So with that being said, we are done for the night. As always, the show might be yours. Not mean you have to stop interacting and contributing to our show. Continue to have your voice heard. Send us your feedback, questions about the show, scheduling the show, reactions, comments, opinions on things we talk about on the show, things about related to the film awards, things we said, anything, breaking news items or topic ideas related to sports, entertainment, wrestling you want us to cover. Questions about the In the Spotlight Film Awards. Remember, all submissions can be done by email only, so don't send us submissions by Facebook or Twitter, by email only. But questions about the Film Awards you can do by email. So, all right, so email address for the show, itspotlight411@gmail.com. You can also, again, follow us and tweet us at itspotlight411. Remember to use the hashtag itspotlight411 for anything to tweet regarding the show. And if it's anything to do with the Film Awards, you can also use hashtag itsfilmawards if you'd like. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search for In the Spotlight 411 on Facebook. And then once you find our fan page, make sure you like it once you're on it. Again, Facebook and Twitter, you want to follow us so you have the latest information about our show. And, of course, you can interact with us as well. And we always post random things on Twitter and on Facebook. So to be able to have access to all of that and more, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter. On Facebook, search for In the Spotlight 411. And then make sure you like our fan page. And on Twitter, just search for us at itspotlight 411. And then make sure you follow us on there. 2 ways to keep up with the show and look back at classic episodes. You can either stream us anytime on Google Plus and YouTube. Just search for In the Spotlight 401. And when you do, you'll be taken to our show pages on both sites, where you can stream any of our episodes that we've ever produced for Google Plus and YouTube. That's every episode from mid-October 2015 all the way up to tonight's current episode. Those episodes are available for you to stream anytime you want on Google Plus and YouTube. Just search for In the Spotlight 401 on Google Plus and YouTube. If streaming's not your thing, maybe prefer to listen to us rather than watch us, or maybe you want to listen to us on the go, you're interested in older episodes of the show. If any of that applies to you, check us out on our main host sites, Podbean and iTunes. Just search In the Spotlight 401 on both of those sites. And when you do, you'll be taken to our show page on both sites, where you'll have access to every episode we've ever produced in the 7.5 years we've been doing the show. So every episode from our original Blog Talk Radio run from October 2010 to January 2011, all of our talk show episodes from January 2011 all the way up to mid-October 2015, and all of our episodes from Google Plus and YouTube from mid-October 2015 all the way up to tonight's current episode, transferred from their audio format, transferred from their current format to audio format for your convenience, so you can listen to them rather than watch them. So every episode we've ever done from October of 2010 all the way up to tonight's episode in audio format for your convenience, all in order from the most recent date, that being tonight, to the oldest all the way in October 2010. Those episodes are available for you to listen to anytime you want. Maybe you missed an episode, want to check out an episode from a few years ago, or just want to catch up on some of the latest episodes you might have missed. Any of that applies to you. You can listen to us anytime on our main host sites, Podbean and iTunes. So Google Plus, YouTube, Podbean, iTunes are your ways to keep up with the show and look back at classic episodes. Again, Google Plus, YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, your ways to keep up with the show and look back at classic episodes. Again, search for us with the title In the Spotlight 411 on all those sites. You can search for us under In the Spotlight 411 on all those sites, and you'll be able to stream us, listen to us, and all that good stuff anytime you want. I want to thank Mike for being here tonight. Thank you, Mike.
It is now time for bed.
And, of course, I want to thank myself and our great show, Pat Bank, and thank all of you for your continued support and contributions to the show. Thank you so much for watching. To those that will be watching, listening to this later, thank you to you as well. To all those that participated in the Film Awards so far, thank you to you, and to those that will be participating going forward in some way, shape, or form, whether it's the live awards or deciding the winning ballots, or our great awards council, as I call them. To everybody involved, thank you so much. We appreciate it. So far, it's been a tremendous event, as always. So we look forward to the Film Awards on the 30th and seeing how those go as well. So that is it for this week. We'll be back with 2 shows next week. Tuesday, sports, wrestling. We'll talk about the big stuff from Raw and SmackDown. Any other big stuff we have to get to on wrestling side things. Sports. We'll talk about this weekend's NFL divisional playoff weekend, and we'll look ahead to conference championship weekend here as we start to wind down the NFL season. Any other big sports headlines we have to cover, including college basketball, we'll talk about as well on Tuesday. Next Thursday, box office beat, TV highlights. We'll talk Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, all that good stuff, and do a lot. And a little bit more. There'll be more stuff. I don't know what yet, but we'll talk more about that on Tuesday. So that's what's coming up next week. Should be a pretty normal week, because the next couple weeks, couple weeks after that, will be pretty big for us. So that's gonna be the deal next week. So till next week, I hope you have a great rest of your night, a great weekend, and a great start to week next week. We'll see you back here for our next show this coming Tuesday, 18th at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Good night.